like it, I buy it. I told her she gotta come try it. They wondering what I've been doing. I told them I'm keeping it quiet. I pull up, you know I be moving. Whipping the foreign, I'm cruising. The money I'm speaking is fluent. All of my business booming. Stacking my cash in abundance. All of my family funded. Finally got what I wanted. Life is amazing, I love it. Everyone know that I run it. Yeah, look at me now, I came up. I've been thinking back then when I almost gave up on the game, cause I never got it my way. Never got my mama whip on the driveway. I've been making all hits on a Friday. Back then I was getting like no plays. I'm never gonna change, no Kanye. Gotta get a Lambo like Green Bay. I made a lot, but then I gave a lot, and now I had enough. But I've been keeping up, and now I pay the price to what I'm dreaming of. I had to sacrifice, and now I see the love. Everything beautiful. Lucky I never got trapped in a cubicle. If I did it, then you can do it too. Just follow my moves. I pull up, you know I be moving. Whipping the foreign, I'm cruising. The money I'm speaking is fluent. All of my business booming. Stacking my cash in abundance. All of my family funded. Finally got what I wanted. Life is amazing, I love it. Everyone know that I run it. Yeah, my family home for the holidays. I'm in the studio cooking up music, cause I know I never got time to waste. This a decision I gotta make. Made it here, I can't stop now. Had to make what I got now. This the life I chose, seen the highs and lows. I've been getting what I want now. Middle finger to the middleman. Fuck what you posting on Instagram. Never been part of the fake shit. Everyone rapping, I swear that I hate it. Yeah, all of them wanna be famous. Give them a week and they fading. You buying a chain, I'm buying a crib, cause we not the same. I pull up, you know I be moving. Whipping the foreign, I'm cruising. The money I'm speaking is fluent. All of my business booming. Stacking my cash in abundance. All of my family funded. Finally got what I wanted. Life is amazing, I love it. Everyone know that I run it, yeah.
Pulling up, beating on swervin'. Bad bitch pushing on curvin'. Run it up like a nigga earnin'. Gotta check, now a nigga smurfin'. Pull up in a rose, now she wanna roll. Everybody talking, but they coming to the shows. Pull up in a rose, now she wanna roll. Everybody talking, but they coming to the shows. Pulling up, beating on swervin'. Bad bitch pushing on curvin'. Run it up like a nigga earnin'. Gotta check, now a nigga smurfin'. Pull up in a rose, now she wanna roll. Everybody talking, but they coming to the show. Pull up in a rose, now she wanna roll. Everybody talking, but they coming to the show. I don't wanna talk, gotta listen. Diamonds on me drip, I'm a wishing, wow. Don't know what you seen in me, girl. You was my all, you believed in me, girl. First day we spent was so real to me, girl. Next time I promise to give you the world. Diamonds be shining, you dripping in pearls. Girl, I ain't lying, you know you my world. Girl, I can't pass up on my love. Addicted to you like a drug. Hoping that this is enough. Running to you, you the one. Running to you, you the one. Pulling up, beating on swervin'. Bad bitch pushing on curvin'. Run it up like a nigga earnin'. Gotta check, now a nigga smurfin'. Pull up in a rose, now she wanna roll. Everybody talking, but they coming to the shows. Pull up in a rose, now she wanna roll. Everybody talking, but they coming to the shows. Pulling up, beating on swervin'. Bad bitch pushing on curvin'. Run it up like a nigga earnin'. Gotta check.
Yeah, boy! Welcome back to another Elite Only podcast featuring Mike, Miles, Max, Isaac, and Hayden.
What's going on, everybody? How we doing tonight?
You good?
Wow, I was muted. My bum. What up, everybody?
If you're in the chat, say what up.
Yeah, let us know who's
8
in
viewers
here.
already. What's good, boys? What's good, guys? Really only podcast in the chat, boys.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any more ideas before we get going?
Presentable. What's good, T-Rez?
T-Rez is in here? Okay.
T-Rez, we want you on the stream tomorrow, or Friday.
Gonna get a special feature going, eh?
Yeah, should we get a special feature of...
A very special feature.
You think? That's...
No, just a very special feature.
Are we gonna get Luke on? Or?
People think the beef's going on. Let's talk about it, you know?
Special feature for a special person.
Yes, sir.
It's not what I was getting at, but...
Special people like Luke and Tyler, we'll get them on the stream. We'll talk about Locked In. We'll talk about Elite Only.
What their future plans is.
You know what I mean?
Got 9 people in right now.
You guys.
In recent news, we've been receiving a lot of hate from female soccer players after Monday night's episode.
Oh.
So,
one person.
No names will be disclosed, so
yeah.
maybe a softball.
So, how's it going, boys? What are we talking about?
Did you guys see the pre-workout sold out in 4 minutes for the Nelk Boys?
Bro, I wanted to get
I know, I wanted to get some of that.
fucking full sentence ups.
Bradley definitely threw some stuff in there. Spice it up.
For real. Some coke.
A little bit.
Alright, we're only gonna
Yeah, we can get combos going.
Should we talk about how we're slowly opening back up next week?
Talking about? What'd you say, Mike?
Yo,
We can
by the
talk
way,
about
whoever
how
wrote
it's
the
slowly
title,
opening back up.
it's the 13th, not the 12th.
That might be me.
Jeffy.
Jeff boy.
Is it fixed
Yeah.
now?
Who's watching right now?
Is it fixed or no?
If we refresh our page, it should get fixed.
Yeah, it's fixed.
Yeah, it's good.
Fire.
Elite.
Alright, you guys want to get started, or what?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yo, Miles, did you do that anatomy stuff?
No, I need the other, what's it called?
I haven't done either of the outlines.
Yeah, I need the other outline. I took your outline that you did, Max, but I need the other one. I tried to get it from the group chat, but, y'all want to get started, or what?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm down.
We can start off with the progress on our, challenge that we started and shit.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, Hayden already finished it, but, like, cause he's a fiend and he's a tryhard.
In one day.
Not. Bro, I just wanted to...
Tyler came in with the Locked In with Luke and Tyler.
Make this entertaining, boy.
Who's second? Who's second in the challenge?
It's Mike.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
so, I wasn't trying to be a tryhard. Honestly,
You
I
weren't,
set
really?
out... No, I
You just
wasn't.
read all of it.
So, here's
Everyone
what
knows.
happened. I set out yesterday, it was yesterday, with a goal to run 5 miles.
Alcohol.
And I was like, alright, I'm going to run 2.5 down the bike path. When it says 2.5, I'm going to run back. And that'll be 5. But I got to 2.5, and it was like, I was like chilling, and I like kind of forgot, like I just tuned out. So next thing I know, I look down at my phone, and I'm at 3.5. So I was like, alright, I'm about to just go run 4, and then run 4 back, and be done with it. So that's what I did.
Nice.
Alright, well, I'm gonna see if it'll focus up. Probably, there we go. Yeah, so, this is our leaderboard. Isaac and Max have not ran yet.
But like, I
But,
go on my treadmill, so
Hayden finished already. Mike is at 1.94, but he walked half of it. But we won't disclose that.
I was having an asthma attack.
Wait, Mike,
I'm
so-
joking, and I ran
so-
1.65.
What, like, can you guys, like, show your, like, run history on it? Like, show, like
Kinda.
the route
I
you
think.
did?
Yeah.
Like, I can show mine right here real quick.
Wait, where do you go? Leaderboard and click on your
No,
name? Or...
you go to this thing. That, and
Yeah,
then
where-
it shows you, like,
Oh
your
shit, my
runs.
phone's at 1.
So, This was my 8-mile one.
Me and Mike ran around Buttonwood Park.
So is it backwards for you guys or?
No, it's chilling. Me and Mike.
Well, I did what Miles did that route.
Yeah, me and Mike did the same route.
So I had a pace of 8:42 for 8 miles. So I don't really know if that's good or not, but
I don't know how to get to that.
it hurt pretty bad.
We're losing. You guys want to get started talking about something?
Sure. But Mike, what was your pace for yours?
I don't know. Wait, where do I go from here?
You go to the, hold on, let it focus.
Max, are you gonna end up running?
Can you go to the
Are you gonna end up running?
It's like a podium.
It's the second.
It's the second thing. Right there.
Isaac, what'd you say?
And then it shows you your like.
Are you gonna
run
end up
history.
running?
Am I gonna end up?
Oh.
Yeah, when?
When I have no clue when. I will at some point though.
Yeah.
You did 0.5 and 1.4.
Yeah.
What do you guys
Not bad.
think about like things opening up next week? What do
Like
you guys think
restaurants and
about
stores?
about that?
See, like, barbershops, I feel like everyone's gonna rush to that, and then
Oh, I'm one.
it's all gonna spread through there,
Yeah.
and then everything's just gonna be shut down again.
Well,
And it's gonna make no
there
fun.
should.
Unless you live in New Bedford, I don't think it's gonna be the barber shops that do it.
I mean, what else is really opening up? That's gonna do it.
Restaurants?
Not all restaurants are opening.
No, but there's gonna be like some set of like formation in order to get in.
Well, once phase 1 starts, non-essentials open back up.
Bro, like,
That's
isn't that not gonna do
restaurants and stuff.
anything though? Isn't like COVID just gonna have another outburst? Because people are like sure to have it still though.
At some
It's gonna
point,
come
everyone.
back like another like outbreak in like the
Yeah.
fall.
No, like everyone's gonna get it at some point.
No,
Like,
I think,
it's
like-
bound to happen.
So the original like dilemma was the fact that we didn't have enough like
Supplies.
respirators and masks and stuff like that, and like we didn't have enough hospital space. But like now there's like a lot more of that, and we're like a lot more prepared for like more people to get it.
Yeah.
So if people get it now, it's like less of an issue. So that's why it's like I think that we could like open back up, allow people to like get the virus, and like if you get sick, you just like go to the hospital.
Well, according
Just
to
chill.
Fuji, or whatever his name is, the Fauci or whatever, he said to the Senate today that if we open up too soon, the entire United States is going to get compromised, and we're all screwed, in his words. So,
I don't know what compromised means.
Big
Yeah,
words.
that
Big
we're all
words
gonna
from
get
Max.
sick.
Yeah,
And that's
well,
coming from the guy that's trying to prevent it, so, you know.
the mortality rate of it is like same as the flu. I don't know. I think
In Massachusetts, I think like
we're fine.
3 or 4% of people have died.
I
'Cause
think,
there's been like 400,000 cases, but like 70,000 deaths.
yeah. Like, we're
Yeah,
fine, but
Some of that's capped too, though. Like people are dying of like other things, and they're still counting it as corona.
yeah, people like automatically associate it with corona.
and like you can't really.
You can't do an
believe what you hear in the
autopsy. If
news.
you do an autopsy, you're just exposing the virus.
Right. I also read that it has the chance to like mutate and kind of like change in different like climates.
Yeah.
LA,
I thought the
LA is
heat, like-
quarantined.
The
LA
heat
is
gets rid of
quarantined
it.
for another 3 months. So they're not doing anything down in LA.
Doesn't the heat like help it, or not help
No,
it? But, like,
It like takes it away. It like lessens the effects of
Yeah.
it because
yeah,
it's
that's why Florida and Arizona are opened up already.
yeah, like it thrives in just a regular climate, but like if you take two extremities of like really hot and then really cold, like it won't kind of mutate or survive as long as it would
The only
normally.
problem with LA is it's hot down there, but there's so many people that you can't stop it because there's so many people down there because of the
Yeah.
population. So that's the only issue down there.
I'm
And they're
scared
stuck in
for that
quarantine.
type of
They're stuck in
environment.
quarantine until August.
Yeah, Mike's getting tested tomorrow.
I might die of it looking, but
Mike, you want to tell that story?
mm,
Nah, don't put them out on blast.
No, don't give names. Just tell the story.
right.
He was working with someone that got sick. Pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Nice.
Do you guys have any topics in mind before we get to that top 10 list? 'Cause if you want to let that like wait and then
Yeah, we can wait a little bit.
Starting a
Have that be
group
the special
OnlyFans,
feature.
so we'll put that in the description.
What's the subscription cost for that, Mike?
It's $5 a month.
Well, that's low.
Yeah, it's the same as
Well, our
Jordan.
OnlyFans account?
Isn't hers
Yeah.
15? I thought hers was 15.
I saw 5.
OnlyFans?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Our OnlyFans is 20. I bumped up the price.
good stuff.
20
good
a
stuff.
month. I mean, yeah,
A little bit
there's 5
expensive,
people.
but it's worth the content, I'd say.
Exactly.
Alright, what else is there to talk
I'm gonna
about?
post this on my Instagram because I never posted on Instagram.
Get the promotion out there.
Do you guys have any other topics? Anyone in the chat have any topics?
Yeah, any ideas? Quick.
Anything we can do? Any challenges you want to see? Anything?
Apparently, there's a new kid virus that's spreading in Europe now.
Kid virus?
Kind of virus. Typo.
A new kind of.
There's
Oh.
a Kawasaki virus in New York. It's like another like extreme of coronavirus.
These Chinese names.
Now that
Yeah.
they're just coming up with so many different viruses.
Like Kawasaki. We couldn't have named it anything normal.
Well,
I think that's normal in China.
yeah, it is
or
normal.
Asia.
That's like... I don't even know what that
This
is in English.
Kawasaki.
What does it mean?
Kawasaki's a sauce. Like,
Like a
Meaning-
virus for kids. How can it be like solely...
So it's just
Just for
for kids.
Kawa means river and Saki means cape.
So as soon as I hit
River Cape
18, I
virus?
can't get the virus
I mean,
anymore.
that's like
that.
somewhat... I can see that. I think it's from rats. What is it? Black Death again?
oh, Kawasaki is a motorcycle, I thought.
Yeah. And
It is
Kawa
Kawasaki.
means river and Saki means cape. So river cape disease.
Virus.
Nice. I saw on the news that there's like a side effect, like after people get corona, that like kind of affect the lungs. And there was a little kid that like just went into
Pneumonia,
cardiac
right?
arrest.
Is it pneumonia?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. It might be. But is pneumonia-
No, like a lot of people get like pneumonia from corona.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
does
why they
pneumonia
buy-
cause a cardiac arrest? A heart attack?
I think so. I don't know.
What does?
But the pneumonia's involved with your lungs, not your heart.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that it, like has long-term effects on people's lungs, and like they can develop asthma later on, stuff like that. Mustang Vinny.
Conway, I'm having a
Having a
stroke. Hey, Colin.
Mustang Vinny 20.
Who's Mustang
bitches.
Vinny?
That's Lil Dottie.
Mustang Vinny is
Lil Dottie.
What's good?
Lil Dottie, you're still eating 4 donuts and a Coke every day?
Nice healthy diet.
Ladani's doing his 30-minute workout plan at Workout World. He's fine.
Ghosted my email. What'd you email her?
Right, you emailed her 3 times and she never
I
responded.
emailed Sullivan on Sunday, and she responded to me like last Sunday, not this, no, 2 Sundays ago, and responded to me last Friday. So it took her
Check what
5 days
Colin's
to
saying.
respond to my email.
We're destroying her lawn.
I'm
Nice.
hip. That's me and Colin's project for the summer.
That's your 4th quarter project?
Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking. We don't have to get into that now, but.
We can do that on a later podcast.
She gave me an 83 on the test that I got nothing wrong on. I'm heated. Yeah, I got like an 81 and I got all of it wrong, so. I don't know how that works.
You guys have a wild story from today?
Wild story.
Yeah, it's like anything crazy happened today? I don't know.
What whack happened today?
Didn't leave my
Any-
house.
Anything so like random that just happened today?
Oh, the other day, like 5 fire trucks and like 3 police cars just sped down my street for some reason. I don't know why. Mad sirens and stuff.
Last time I had fire trucks.
No, I went out and I
street,
like
there was a
I went
naked
out
dude
and
just running around. So, I don't know if he was a pedophile or not, but
Fire. Colin's spamming the chat. I wrote 3 pages on both the test and for the essay. Fuck trying in that class. I'm heated. Well said, well said. Yo, all the staying teachers like went to seniors' houses today. How would you guys feel about that if some teacher pulled up at your crib?
I'd be like, get out of
thought
here,
that was
bro.
cool.
Like,
Yeah, but I don't know. I would be creeped out. I'd be like if Coach Mac pulls up, hiya, how you doing? Fucking high five, high five. I'd be like, bruh, like.
I thought it was dope.
I'm here to support Coach Mac.
No, that was definitely sick though. It was nice for them.
Like
Yeah.
every teacher went to a student's house, and they went to every.
Were they
single
like
student's
assigned a
house.
student?
No, some.
And I'm not here.
there was a girl who didn't.
Yeah, Paige Goff. They forgot to go to her crib.
Yeah,
Tough.
I saw that.
I'm not here to cause no trouble. I'm just here to do the coaching.
Because
Wait,
some
how do you
girl
know?
like posted like Sting did her dirty or something.
Yeah, I saw that. Forget who it was.
Nice.
They just forgot to go to her house.
If you had 2 teachers that you could choose to pull up to your house, who would it be?
Miss Pratt. I don't know the second one.
What are we saying?
Big
Oh,
boy
Isaac.
Nate Green and Mr. Willett.
Good choice.
Isaac.
Nate Green definitely pulled up to all the girls' houses.
I'd have to
all the
go.
guys' houses.
I'd have to go with Mrs. Zaccardi and Mrs. Regina.
Senora
Yeah,
Sousa.
let me tell you the chances Mr. Cardi went to someone's house today.
Senora Sousa.
Like, no shot.
They
No,
shouldn't
the
even
hockey
leave her
coach
house.
was going to people's cribs, I think.
Yeah, the hockey team.
Did TK leave his house?
I don't think
Probably
TK
not.
went anywhere.
He doesn't have a senior class, does he?
A lot of the younger teachers went, besides Mr. Austri. Mr.
I think it's
Austri was
people
the
that
only
have
older teacher
seniors in
one.
class.
I didn't see
isn't it?
Mr. Green in any of them.
Mr. Green.
I saw
No, I
It
saw
was
Mr.
any-
Green.
It was any teacher that had seniors in their class.
Yeah.
That's how it
Miss,
worked.
I think.
If you had
Yeah.
a senior in your class, you went and gave them a thing.
Yeah, that
So
makes
no
sense.
Miss
You know, what are you
Pimento.
doing if Miss Pimento and Miss Sullivan pulls up your house?
I'm getting the shotgun and I'm going out on the porch.
What's goody?
We should. Jesus.
Yeah,
That
so
was a joke, by the way. That was a joke.
Yeah, that's a threat, actually. Okay.
Nope.
Like, Miss
Cutting that up.
I don't think, because she's freshman Theo.
Pimental, yeah, she doesn't have a senior class. And I don't think what's her face does. Oh wait, yeah, Sullivan does, right?
Yeah. No. No.
In the chat, from saying, who would you guys want to pull up to your house?
Pull up to your cribs.
Somewhere around.
I'd say.
Loki, Coach Mac would be like.
Yeah, Coach Mac would be a dope
honestly,
person
I'd
as
say
well.
Coach Mac, Miss T, and Senora Connors.
Bro, I saw a picture of Coach Mac and like he was not 6 feet away from whoever it was.
Yeah, I know. They were not practicing
Bro,
social distancing.
Liam Baker was gassed when they showed up at his house.
He was? I didn't see a
Bro, you
picture of
saw
him.
the picture?
No, I didn't see a
Bishop.
picture.
He was psyched. Go look in the group chat.
Yeah,
He was
probably
so
because
happy.
no one ever comes over.
No, he definitely has
Bro.
mad shotties pulling up. Come on, man.
Mad shorties.
Don't disrespect.
Look at this. My man was gassed.
What teachers pulled up?
It
Oh,
was
Coach Mac pulling up?
and I can't recognize the other one.
No, Coach
Oh,
Mac
that
was
was
with
Liam Baker?
Coach
Yes.
Mac was with the
Oh, I had
hockey
no idea.
coach. Coach Mac was with the hockey coach.
Hockey coach?
Oh, that
How does
makes
Liam...
sense.
Why was the hockey coach? Like that's so weird. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the hockey coach.
So bad.
Were there any old teachers that went out? Like, that are
Not
at risk?
really. But like a lot of the old teachers don't have senior classes anyways.
Yeah, good point.
Like
Bro.
Mr. Austri is the only senior teacher that I can think of that's like considered older that went out.
Check what
Mr.
Colin
Austri.
said
He's
in
like the
chat.
older Nate Green, I swear.
No,
Yeah.
there's... No.
Except Mr. Green doesn't do English. Honors English.
Here, look at this. This is not social distancing.
No.
Yeah, a little bit close there.
A little close, a little close.
Hey guys,
Coach Mac has the Isaac Ouellette shoes.
Oh,
The
fire.
drippy,
Mad drippy.
whatever they're called.
Coach
Yeah.
Mac and his extra toasty cheese pizza.
What?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Extra crispy. Yeah.
Extra crispy.
My man ordered a pizza after track practice, and he goes, can you make that extra crispy?
No, it's can I have a well done pizza?
Yeah, well done. That's what it was.
Can I have a well done?
A well done pizza. Like, what does that even
Now,
mean?
honestly, you know who I'd want to show up to my house? Miss McKenna, cause she'd just bring pizza for me.
Yeah, nah, Miss McKenna would be kind of dope.
Miss
What?
McKenna's so chill.
I love Miss McKenna.
I don't know about that.
Coach Mac
reverse
pulled up to
racist.
my house at 8:45.
Coach Mac pulled up at my house at 8:45 in the morning, and I was shitting.
I swear.
He was like running around and waving to my neighbors. You're welcome.
Wow.
He was doing the Coach Mac shuffle for everybody.
I'm not here to cause no trouble. I'm just here to do
Do the
Coach
Coach
Mac
Mac shuffle. I love him.
At my
I
house at
love
8:45.
Coach.
Isaac, remember when we had him for class and I took the video of you just throwing like
Oh,
pens
just
all
tripping
over the
and just
place?
absolutely
Remember
eating
when
it.
Isaac pinned the marker right at the whiteboard? Like, this
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, that was the
the
most.
marker.
That was in
like,
Theo,
right
right?
in front of Coach Mac.
that was in Theo or no?
No, that was in.
No, that was in Coach Mac's class.
Nah,
Sophomore year.
Isaac and Theo, fucking.
The pretzel?
One day,
The pretzel.
You guys all had to take that test, and I was arguing with her. I was like, "Listen, I wasn't here. I'm not taking this test." End of story. She's like, "I really think you should, but you don't have to." And she moves me over to like right next to her desk while they're all taking
I
it.
remember that.
Isaac has this big jar of pretzels. She turns her back and he just hums one at me, and it hits the desk and just goes, "Boing!" and explodes everywhere, mad loud.
Dude,
She's like, "Isaac, get out!" He's like, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to." That's funny.
I remember I was messing around when we were taking notes. I was like, Rua! She's like, go down to the
Making
office.
whale noises.
Go down to the office. I'm like, no. What did I do? She's like, fine, you can stay.
Fine. And then fucking write down your nickname if you have one. It writes Papa Bear. Like, ooh. What kind of? He's like, "Isaac, I'm not calling you Papa Bear."
Like, yeah, you
And
are.
Isaac was
Yeah,
like,
you are.
Yeah. That was low key that was like fourth quarter when Mr. Hurst left, and it was mad fun.
Yeah, we had her for like 2 months straight.
Yeah.
Now
Is she?
she's like my best friend. I like talk to her at lunch and stuff. Like, so what are
You
your
ask
plans?
her
What are
for
your
her
plans for the
bananas?
weekend?
Can I have your
You hated
banana?
your guts, though. Like, there's no way she actually enjoyed your presence.
No, she low key
Nah.
liked us.
Yeah. We made class
It was
entertaining. We
lovely.
weren't like
Yeah.
boring and just listen to her. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but
depending.
as a sub, that's kind of what you want. You want to just be able to sit back and just.
Yeah,
do
but like
nothing.
she's a good personality.
No.
Like she's a good
And
character.
she likes teaching. Like she went to like BC to like be a Theo teacher and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
Somehow she's a sub.
Gendro, yeah.
Well, she retired. She was a teacher.
How long did these
And then she
last?
retired, and now she's a sub.
Mustang Vinny 20. How long do these last? Usually about an hour.
Yeah, like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. But I got a feeling this one's probably gonna go a little bit closer to an hour. But yeah, like she's the type of teacher that like would much rather
She's like,
prefer.
"I love teaching."
Yeah, she'd
Ask
much
me
rather
questions.
prefer just participation and just like entertaining class.
Nah, I remember when I think it was Isaac. She said she went to BC for her degree in theology, and you said something to her about how like you asked her if she's actually qualified to be a theology teacher.
Oh yeah.
She goes, yes, I went to BC to be a theology teacher, and then you literally this is what you said. You go, so why does that make you qualified to be a theology teacher? And you literally went back and forth with her for 20 minutes about how she went to college to be a theology teacher.
I just
and
asked
how
some
you didn't think that
stupid
makes you
questions that
qualified.
had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, you just started complaining.
That class was so fun.
Even though you went to school for it, what makes you qualified?
Like, why you qualified? Like, why you are a teacher right now? What
yeah.
What are you doing?
What did you do in order to come here?
Mustang.
And then she literally gave us her life story one day because of you.
Bro, we wasted so much class
My
time.
parents were very Catholic,
You were
and
late
I
for
got
that.
involved
I
with
know.
the church at like age 8.
Did I
She
hum a
literally gave
pen
her
or
entire
anything
life
at the
story.
board whenever we had her?
Who?
Did I hum a pen or a pencil
Yes,
at the
Miss
board?
Gendro, bro. You literally threw it next to her head while she was turned around at the whiteboard. She was like, "Who was that?" And then everyone just stood there straight-faced.
Everyone just was silent. That class had my back.
Well, no one wanted to
That
be
was
there.
a fun class.
Yeah, and then I had
You really tried hard in that class.
Yeah.
Really talented
we
in that.
oh my god.
And then Mr. Hurst comes back.
Sitting
He's like,
behind Megan every day.
I actually sat in front of her.
I thought I was.
Yeah, during quizzes you literally turned around.
Oh,
And you
Megan.
never said anything to me.
Because
Megan,
Mr. Hurst doesn't
This
care.
one,
I
this
know, I
one,
love
this
that.
one.
Who's the best homeroom teacher ever?
Honestly, my
Our
favorite
home-
classes
Yo,
would
did you
have
hear
been
how
that
they might
class
make
and then our
Did you
history.
hear how they might make us eat lunch with our homerooms next year instead of going to the lunchroom?
That's so dumb.
Sucks.
Imagine
Why?
eating lunch in our homeroom.
I hate
That would be
everyone in my
terrible.
homeroom.
Imagine eating lunch in our homeroom.
That's
That'd be
no-brainer.
awful.
But I don't like anyone in my homeroom.
Bro, it's literally...
Is it Max in your homeroom?
What?
Yeah.
It's me, Mike Cardelli.
Alright, yeah, the
It's
only
me, Mike
people I like-
Cardelli, and then Graham.
And then Max.
And then at the other side... And then Connor. And then at the other side...
Connors and- oh yeah.
At the other side of the room, it's like...
Fucking
Straight
Christian,
off.
Alves, Carlo, Callie, Kayla. And during Flex, it is the worst. They don't.
Bro, they don't stop talking. Ever.
They just yell. And
the
it's
hot
stupid.
Cheeto bitches.
They just scream, bro.
Yo!
And then
What's
Miss
good?
Sullivan gets mad at
Yeah,
them.
Miss
Miss
Sullivan.
Sullivan gets mad at them, and then they complain to Miss Sullivan because she's mad at them because they didn't stop talking the entire class. It's like, how does that make sense?
Hot
Bro, we-
Cheeto at 7 a.m. bitches.
Max, do
We
you
just
remember
lost
in Miss
everyone.
Cardi's class when we didn't sit the entire class and she just
Yeah, me and Mike during Miss Sicardi's class, I think it was a half day. It was a dress down. No, it was a dress down day. We decided that we weren't gonna sit the entire class, and she got so mad at us.
I was sweating by the end.
I was drenched, bro, and I had a long sleeve shirt, and it was like a light color.
I just kept making up excuses to like walk around. I was like, yeah, can I put tape on this notebook?
No,
You
remember,
guys-
I broke my pencil 4 times in a row, and I kept getting up and just sharpening my pencil in the middle of class.
Yo, didn't I walk around randomly during Theo?
Yeah, everyone did.
Yeah.
Remember Miss Pratt's class?
Yo, do you remember when I walked up, or I just left class for like 10 minutes?
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, I'm out. Walks out, takes a little walk, comes back like 10 minutes later.
She's like, so where'd you go? I'm like, around.
No, she was like, Isaac, if you leave this class, you are in big trouble. You just, peace, bye.
Yeah, I like walked out anyways, and then she's like, "Where did he go? Where did he go?"
I literally went to Coach
Hey,
Mac's
Martin,
class.
We got a new sub.
I went to
And then-
Coach
and then
Mac's class.
Once Isaac came back, she's like, "Isaac, you do that again, and you're going down to the office." And then later in that class, because it was the last period, he leaves like 5 minutes early with his backpack.
I did whatever I wanted in that
Walks
class.
out the
Croba. Everyone, Croba is here.
What's
What's
good?
good?
What's good,
Oh,
Mateeves?
So,
Mateeves, what's a better podcast?
Yeah, Mateev's vote is the only vote that matters.
Yeah.
Damn, we only have 5 viewers now.
You want to get a
No, we
discussion
have 8
going?
now.
We're like
We got 8
halfway
now.
in. We can probably.
Fuck
Do
whoever left.
you want to go with the list now, or
yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, we can.
yes, sir,
Yeah, wait, I
Mateeves?
got one more little stank story though.
All right.
Me and Mike,
I'm in this. Oh, shit.
me and Mike's Spanish class. We have a project. We absolutely cheat on the whole entire thing.
Yeah, come out now and say it,
No,
Miles.
it was one line. Chill.
It was low key just
It
one
was the
line.
entire thing. You only got caught for one line.
And Miss Connors, she goes, "What is this? This is what we're learning in like Spanish 4." And me and Mike did not know what to do. Like it was
because of one like letter, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, we were gonna change that to an infinitive too that night.
Yeah.
Max,
my
what's good with
gosh.
you?
We were literally gonna change that, and I think either me or you were like, nah, we're good. We can just keep it.
I got a 70 on that though.
What?
I never told you. I got a 70 on it.
I had to have gone to 70 on it.
I don't know, because I talked my way out of it in guidance. I was like, nah, fuck that.
I didn't go to. I don't think I went to guidance for it. You should have told me to
Like,
go to guidance.
was in
What?
trouble earlier that week, so that's probably why he went to guidance.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I got in trouble
Max-
You got in trouble for cheating on an English quiz because your phone.
Yeah.
your
Oh yeah, I had my phone.
But Matives goes.
Yo,
if
Max
you,
and
if you
Hayden.
could choose between David Ortiz or Derek Jeter to start your team.
Peter.
You two take that one.
Probably LeBron.
Yeah.
I'd
I'd go
actually.
with LeBron James.
I'd go for
Honestly,
Serena
That's an
Williams.
interesting question, but I would pick Derek Jeter just because you're getting defense and offense. With Ortiz, you're only getting hitting.
Well, what type of Ortiz? Are we talking like 04 Ortiz or like?
They're prime. Just
Probably
prime.
like
They were
probably like
Ortiz's
their
prime. I mean, that's like a 300 plus hitter.
So is Jeter. He just doesn't have the power.
I guess are you looking for base hits or home runs? I guess is your real question.
To
You
start a
looking for your
team.
number 4 power hitter.
I don't think you're just looking for.
Like, who would be the
I don't
best
think you're just looking
impact?
for hitting though.
Who would have the
I mean,
biggest
David Ortiz
impact?
in his prime could play first base though. Just putting that out there.
But like, not well, right?
He was basically a DH his entire career.
Like, who would be better to like start a team off?
I would say Derek Jeter because
Jeter.
you're getting a Hall of Fame
You're looking at
shortstop, like Gold Glove winner, and hits 300 consistently.
Yeah,
Solid leadoff hitter, solid shortstop. Build your team around that.
makes sense.
But like both those are good choices.
Yeah.
Now,
Alright.
if you said something like, you know, Mike Trout or Derek Jeter, then it makes it 10 times harder.
I would pick Mike Trout.
So would I, but you know, shortstop's kind of the most important position, one of the most important positions on the team.
Like that, yeah, like that. I mean, I'm
I
not.
feel like left field's pretty important.
Yeah.
In my
I mean,
opinion, I'd
outfield's
have to go
important,
with
don't
middle
get me
bench.
wrong, but like, you know,
Not
Most important
shortstop's the captain of the infield.
Pitcher, catcher, short, center. After that third.
I don't know much about baseball, but I definitely feel like it would be a better talk of Jeter and Mike Trout than like big David Ortiz.
No, Mike
Be
Trout
Mike
wins
Trout.
that like
Mike Trout.
easier than. But if David Ortiz was better defensively, it would be David Ortiz.
Yeah,
But
100%.
Well, and then you could just say Albert Pujols or Derek Jeter.
Albert Pujols or David Ortiz.
Oh, Albert Pujols. But like Albert Pujols or Derek Jeter, then you have 2 defensive players and 2 deep clutch hitters.
Yeah. David Ortiz is greatest clutch player. Yes, dear, as we all watched your podcast, yeah. Right field is hard because you fall asleep out, yeah. Coach Mac bullied you, bro. Not in MLB, not in the MLB. Yeah, I don't really see outfielders falling asleep much. Bro, in the
Oh, I have
Last
a
Dance,
baseball story.
in the Last Dance, there's a picture, like a video of Michael Jordan absolutely eating shit in the outfield. Like he's tracking this fly ball and just like runs into the fence, like drops the ball, like falls
Michael
over.
Jordan's the greatest sport athlete to ever live.
No.
Besides
What?
Bo Jackson.
Oh,
Besides Bo Jackson.
okay.
I have a baseball
He
story.
never even played professional, like in the highest level of baseball.
He came into Double A hitting 200 and started his career off with a 13-game hitting streak, even though they were giving him fastballs. But
Who was that other dude who played football and baseball other than
Bo
Bo?
Jackson,
No, there's I think
Deion
Deion
Sanders.
Sanders. Yeah,
Deion Sanders. But Deion Sanders wasn't as good.
he still played in both at the highest
Best
level.
athlete of all time, Michael Phelps. I think
I
that's
mean, if
probably
you're looking at
good.
gold medals, yeah.
He is like insane, but
I have a baseball story.
Jim
I don't know if
Brown.
I've told you guys.
Wait, is
I
this
had-
when you got hit in the head with a ball?
Yeah.
I was at that game.
Hey, well, probably no one in the. Wait, you were at that game, Mike?
Yeah, that was the one baseball like game I went to of yours, and you got hit in the head with a fucking ball.
Who hit you?
No, alright.
Oh, the catch! You were trying to catch an
No.
outfielder.
No, listen. No, but it wasn't. No, you're gonna laugh when you hear this. Because, yeah, I was catching it, It was Little League. I played 1 year of baseball. But you know how, you get all your team out to every position that you play, and then your coach hits you the ball?
Before the game?
You got hit in the face during warm-ups.
During IO.
Yes.
Wow.
I was like this. I was going for it, and I just missed it. It hit me right here, and I had the, it's like the red lining in a baseball. I had the lining right, the laces had it right here. It was so funny though. Like, it's such a funny story to tell.
You got cracked. That's pretty much right.
Yeah.
Was this New Bedford Pony?
No, I played the.
I remember I played Pony
I think.
with Ian Martin and someone else. And literally after like 2 weeks, I stopped because I just got cleated and I quit.
New Bedford Pony had some, like, good comp. Like, they had Deshaun and the Mounds.
No, in Little League, I played Deshaun, and it was just like,
Where is
Deshaun he's in jail, I
Yeah.
think.
Is he really?
Yeah,
For what?
I don't know. But,
Nice.
like, he was nasty. He threw, like, 82, like, the year out of Little League. 13U.
He went to some private school, and then
and went to private jail.
yeah, and then went to jail. So
Alright, you
It
want
was
to get
pretty much just a
the...
mistake.
You want to get,
wow.
you want to get the top 10 topic going? Or?
Yeah.
We're 40 minutes in, so...
I mean, yeah. Wait, what are we talking about?
The top 10, the top 10 players of all time.
Nah,
Nathan
forget about the
Corman
top
said
10 players.
Katie.
Forget about the top 10 players of all time. Here's the real question here: why is Steph Curry 13 and KD 14?
Steph Curry does not belong in that place.
Steph Curry is not better than KD.
He doesn't belong in, like, top 20.
There's no stat out there that tells me Steph Curry is better than KD, besides amount of titles won.
Shooting percentage.
But even then, 2 of the 3 titles Steph won, probably he wouldn't have been able to do without KD. So,
I don't know. If they kept their core, like if they weren't making any trades and they kept their core from the 70, I know they lost in the 73-9 season, but like out of four title appearances, they won 3.
I don't know why.
they were
Against the
not.
Cavs.
They were not. I think they would have won the one where where LeBron was by himself with J.R. Smith without Kyrie. He would have won that year, but the other 2 years ago, I think, was it, when they beat LeBron again? Was it? Who did they beat 2 years ago?
I know that they lost.
The past 8 years, LeBron has been. Well, besides last year, it was.
Yeah,
Hold on.
LeBron
2 years ago, what?
right?
2 years ago was LeBron.
Yeah, so I think they would have beaten LeBron with J.R. Smith anyways, and I think with that is, I think it wouldn't have been a sweep, like a clean sweep. Like if they kept their core and the Cavs kept their core, I think without KD, LeBron and Kyrie might have been able to win a title against the Warriors.
That's valid. I can see
That or if OKC keeps their core, OKC beats the Warriors before they even make the finals.
I just don't understand how
salary cap.
OKC with their core. I don't like with that year that they blew.
OKC had Harden, Westbrook, and KD, and they couldn't hold on to any of them. Never mind the fact that they picked up Paul George and Carmelo Anthony.
Well, that's
later
over a
on.
10-year period, like...
No, I just don't understand how the Thunder never like made it to the finals.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, no, they didn't win a finals, I should say.
Well, yeah. Well, you also got to remember they
lost to the Big Three in Miami.
the upper management bailed on that team long before they should have.
Yeah.
They needed to pay KD. They needed to, and they needed to keep Harden instead of that trade. Because who did they actually get out of that trade?
But Harden wouldn't have
Jeremy
been the player
Lamb.
he was.
Well, okay. In that,
He never needed to be. Harden used to be a defensive body. Now he barely even plays defense.
But Harden would not be the player he is right now.
yeah.
No, but like
He would be
you
a
know,
third
he
option.
isn't- On a team like that, he wouldn't have needed to be the player he is right now.
Yeah, but
I
he
know,
wouldn't
but
have
he
a
would
big
have
enough
rather been
impact
the
to the
player
money
he
that he
is,
wanted.
yeah.
Well,
money-
yeah, but it's not up to him if they kept him. Like
Like, yeah, they want the
you
titles
act
and
like
stuff,
he
but
would have.
like,
You act like a
if he
young
didn't,
James Harden would have left the Thunder if he didn't get traded. I mean, you had KD and Westbrook on your team. Why would you leave? It wouldn't make
Because
sense.
of money reasons. That was the reason they traded him. They
Well,
didn't have the
but I'm
salary
saying
cap
if
to
he-
hold on to
If he
the.
came back, if he was a free agent and he had the option to go sign with a god awful Rockets team or come back to the Thunder, he would have came back to the Thunder because the Thunder had a
No.
championship chance.
He wouldn't take that low of a pay cut though. Like he was asking for a lot of money,
oh yeah,
and
Wow.
and it's the Thunder's bad for taking Serge Ibaka's contract over Harden's. Like that's just a bad decision by them. But like they wouldn't have had the salary cap to
I think
keep.
at the
Harden wasn't
time
even
Serge
being
was
reasonable.
probably
Like,
better.
he wasn't asking for money where they couldn't like afford him. You know what I mean?
Who?
Like they had the money, they just chose to put it in other places, which didn't end up helping them in the long.
Where did they put it?
They put it into other people's contract extensions where it didn't even help them because their main core left anyways. Like they didn't end up signing KD. So the money they lost on the money they would have gained from not
KD was
signing
on a
Harden
long-term deal at
didn't
that
matter.
point.
What?
KD was on a long-term deal at that point.
I know, but if they were looking to re-sign KD and that's why they dropped Harden,
That wasn't
Like,
though.
when did Harden get traded? What year?
2011
Not long ago.
or 2012.
That seems like mad long ago for
I know.
like.
He got traded in 2012. Alright.
Like the trade, Rockets completely won the trade. The Thunder got
Oh,
terrible
100%.
pieces. Like the big part was Jeremy Lamb, and he's terrible now. So
Alright, you want to get into the top 10 all-time list?
yeah, we can do the top
So,
10, and then we'll wrap
yeah.
up the stream.
We can. I was thinking we could all go through it, and then each of us could remake the top 5, like in our opinions.
That works.
Remake the top 5.
And we have to
Yeah.
choose from the people in the top 10.
Well, no, you don't have to, but like, I would assume that you like would, I guess.
Yeah,
Unless you think like KD is in the top 5, but
which is not.
Yo, Isaac. KD was in his 3rd year on his contract at a 5.
Out of 5. So they had like
Yeah.
3 more years, right?
you want me to screen share?
1, 2, 3.
Uh,
That year.
He was in his 3rd year.
Yeah, you could.
Was it early? When did they
Yeah, well,
trade?
let me-
I'll
But
do it.
Harden was also coming off a contract. He would have been a free agent in
Yes.
hold on.
I'll screen share.
Uh, oh, you're on the wrong one. You're on 40 through 11.
Click on the on the left. There's
Oh, 10 to 1.
Who's Jaden? Who's
it's my cousin.
Jason Tatum, the GOAT. Alright, so number 10, I think was Shaq.
How just happened? Alright.
Shaq, and then
Where the fuck did it go? My
Yo,
computer
did the
is all laggy
stream just
now.
end? No, never mind. We're chilling, my bad. I thought.
so Shaq.
Yep. At 10.
Yep, Shaq is 10.
So laggy now.
I think Kobe was 9, which is
Yeah,
interesting.
Kobe is 9.
That's
Kobe was
low.
9.
That's
Tim
low.
Duncan was 8,
Okay.
and I think Hakeem Olajuwon was 7. Or no,
Larry
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird. Yep.
Yeah.
Miles, would you be able to do? Oh, well, 6 was, or
Six
what was
was
Magic?
Will.
I mean, I could always just show it on
That's
my
right,
phone.
just
You don't need to
alright,
show the
6
photos.
is
Just
Will.
tell us what the list is. Like,
Yeah,
You don't need to show it. You just gotta read it.
I could always write it down on the whiteboard thing.
just stop
Magic.
screen sharing and then
4 is Bill Russell.
Ooh.
read us the list.
3 is Kareem.
Who's 2?
2 is LeBron,
Interesting.
and 1 is MJ.
Alright, so
That's not irrational.
Do you want to do in order? Everybody goes their top 5.
sure. Who's starting?
We'll go in the order we did before.
I'd
Alright,
keep it.
so what's the order? Miles, Mike, Max, me, Isaac?
Yeah.
Alright, Miles, start us off.
Alright,
Top 5, right?
top 5.
Only top 5, yeah.
Yeah, everyone can put their top 5 in the comments if you want to. And the Crowbot, we on Sunday we're gonna have a highlight reel of all 3 streams that we do during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so top 5. That's kind of tough because
I honestly think Shaq's gonna be in my top 5. I would
So,
rather have Shaq than Lewis.
I'm keeping
Bill
MJ.
Russell made such like a difference in the league though. Like Shaq.
Oh, yeah, no, Bill Russell was definitely-
he won the most chips.
Bill Russell is definitely in my top 5.
Well, look at how many NBA championships he won too compared to Shaq. Like you gotta look at the bigger picture.
But it honestly, when Bill Russell was in the league, it was a lot easier.
Well, yeah, you could say that about anybody. Like, you know, you think MJ would dominate a league full of LeBrons and Giannis's? Like,
You also can say that the league when MJ was playing was more physical.
Yeah,
So, like,
MJ was
Like,
But-
you can sort of, like, look at it subjectively, but, like, you can't do that because everybody played in different areas, so you just gotta go off, like, stats and...
Yeah.
Yeah, I
legacy and
guess so,
stuff
but
like that.
I think it'd be harder to play in a league that has a lot more genetic freaks and athletes compared to people just playing rough. Because you can
Yeah,
adapt.
so
You can
so
adapt to
very
people
early
playing.
basketball was like 6-foot white dudes. Like I'm not saying like that was the best basketball, but like the late 80s and 90s was like a decent amount of like 7-footers, like good athletes, and it was really rough.
Yeah.
Nowadays people are more athletic, more like trained to play basketball because like they have like specialized.
yeah,
like,
but they lack
academies and stuff.
defense. Like, you never really see the.
Well, I
Dennis
think
Rodman
personally,
anymore.
the reason that Wilt, for at least for me, I don't have Wilt in the top 5 solely because of the fact that when he played, you had a bunch of 6-foot white dudes in the NBA, and it was so easy for him to score.
He
And
was dunking from the free
that's
throw.
that's the reason why he's the only player to have scored 100 points in a game, because it was that easy for him compared to how difficult it was for Kobe to score 81.
Well, you gotta.
So for that reason, do you count Bill Russell out of top 5 too?
This man really thinks
Probably, yeah.
Tatum's top 5.
All right, Miles, what's your top 5?
Shit.
Start with number 5.
I took out one person out of the top 5.
Okay.
So my number 1 is MJ. I personally believe that MJ is better than LeBron. Like I think that he's the GOAT out of like him and LeBron debate. But I have MJ at number 1, LeBron at number 2. That stayed. I put Bill at number 3. Bill Russell. I think he was 10 times better than Kareem. Even though like I get Kareem like has the most points scored, but like I just feel like Bill Russell was just way more dominant than he was. Especially like on the boards. Like yeah, he probably scored a lot of points, but like the boards is like
He only averaged
Kareem?
7 points a game.
yeah.
Wait,
I put-
Kareem?
I put Magic Johnson at
Kareem
number.
averaged 25 a game.
Bill
I put-
Russell only averaged.
I put Magic Johnson at number 4 because he's arguably probably one of the best point guards, if not like the best point guard in the NBA, like in history. And I put Larry Bird at number 5.
So Jordan, LeBron, Bill Russell.
Yeah, I wrote it down while you guys were talking, so I could like erase if I wanted to, but like I put MJ, LeBron, Bill, Magic, and Larry.
That's a solid list. Mike, you're up next.
I'm gonna have to go. My number 1. Miles, are you writing it down or am I just saying
I'll write it for you if you want. I can just show the people. So
My number 1, I'm gonna put LeBron. And then number 2, MJ.
Yo, I just had an idea. At the end, we should all vote for someone else's list. You can't vote for your own. Whoever gets the most votes has like the best list.
Okay.
So
make sure you remember your list too.
yeah, no, just everybody write down everybody's
Yeah,
list.
just write it down.
Alright.
Wait, so Miles, what was yours?
Alright, so mine.
Miles was MJ, and then LeBron, and then Bill, and then Magic, and then Larry.
Okay. Alright, Mike, what's yours?
Mine is LeBron, then MJ. And then I'm gonna have to put and then I guess I'll put Kareem, Larry Bird, and then Magic.
So MJ, LeBron, Kareem.
Kareem, Larry, and then Magic.
It's a solid list.
So why would you? So why did you put Larry in front of Magic?
Let me just look at his thing again.
A reason I would flip flop them in my opinion, if I were to, it would be because Larry is just a better shooter, but he was almost as dominant as Magic. That's how I would put it. Because Larry was an amazing shooter. He's probably one of the best shooters. Probably. Do you think Steph Curry and or Larry Bird is the best shooter in history?
I think Larry Allen.
I think
Ray Allen.
I
It's
think
Steph.
Steph's a better shooter. Steph's a better shooter, but
Steph's
Larry's
the
like
best.
bigger and like
Yeah.
Shooting
I still
ability,
believe
shooting
Ray
ability
Allen's
solely.
one of the best 3-point shooters.
No, he is. It's them. Those three: Larry Bird, Steph, and Ray Allen are in the top three for shooters.
Shooting ability alone, the best shooter of all time
is
is
Steph.
Steph. Has to be.
Mhm.
I think he's the most consistent. He's probably.
There's a reason he's already passed Ray Allen's record, and
Mm-hmm.
he's not even close to retiring.
And he changed the way the NBA works.
Yep.
Like completely.
I don't think he's the one that changed it. But
He brought it into
No,
light.
alright,
Like,
the
he's the
shooting
reason
guard
that people
was
wanted
not-
to shoot threes.
No, yes.
think about it.
But the
Steve
amount
Kerr.
of-
Yeah, but now everyone just shoots
the
threes.
one that started.
No, it didn't. Steph Curry didn't even change just the NBA. Like, yeah, Ray Allen was a 3-point shooter. 3-point line was there for the longest time, but Steph hitting all these crazy shots in his games, like that's what made kids and like
Yeah.
teenagers want.
And no,
to
and the amount
like
of
Steph.
threes that people shoot in games has gone up like a ton.
Yeah,
Well, that's just over time. That's not
like
That's Steph
think about it.
revolutionizing
When
the game.
LeBron was on the Heat, he like wasn't really a 3-point shooter. He only shot threes when you mainly drove, but then everyone started developing 3-pointer into their game. So that's when he started it because he need everyone. Because like Giannis, he's not a 3-point shooter, but now he's slowly becoming one.
All right. Can I just say this about Giannis though?
Oh boy.
If you take Giannis's stats from this year, and you cut them in half for shots per game and makes per game, and you compare them to last year's, they're the exact same stats.
Okay.
So he's just taking more shots.
All right, argument
That's all
over.
good.
We don't need to go into further to that.
No, that's all I'm saying though. So I don't personally think Giannis is actually developing a 3-pointer.
No, he is though.
Yeah, but if you split it in half, he's literally at the same spot as he was last year. He's just taking more shots. That's all.
Yeah, but like if you split it in half, like that's not saying much because he shot more threes. That means he was more confident in his
I'm saying
three-pointer.
though, like he's at the same percentage as he was last year, so he hasn't improved yet.
I think
He's just attempting more. Whether that's because they're living more.
but he's also with his attempts made, he's taking more threes and like making like a lot of them. Not all of them, obviously, but
Well, yeah, but if you take the attempts from last year too, they're the same amount of numbers. Like his shooting percentage is the exact same. It's just the amount of shots he takes in the game.
he's gonna develop a 3-pointer. At
Oh,
least
and he will eventually, but he's just not there yet.
All right. Who's the next? Who's next for the
Max
list?
Max.
Top 5 is max.
I'm writing them down too. So
I still have Michael Jordan, then LeBron, then Bill Russell, then I got probably Magic Johnson, and then I got Muggsy.
What?
Chill. Be realistic, bro.
Hey,
The fucking
if you're
fourth
5'3" and you find a way to play
He's
in
not
the
a
league,
GOAT. He's not a top 5
if
player
you
in
are
the league.
5'3" and you find a way to play in the league for 14 years, you're a GOAT in my book. That's all I'm saying. If you're 5'3" and you play in the league for 14 years, you're a GOAT in my book.
Other than Muggsy Bogues, pick another player.
The man averaged 8 points and 8 assists a game.
Yeah, that's not good. That is not
He's
good.
5'3".
Okay,
I
it doesn't
don't
matter
care-
your
oh my
it doesn't
gosh,
matter your
dude.
height. That's the reason we're not bringing height into any of these
Okay,
debates.
so this isn't a pound for pound list. This is a greatest of all time
It's
list.
determined by
I think Muggsy's
stats.
top 5.
It's
No,
determined by
I
stats,
am-
It
production.
is so stupid.
I am not allowing you to put Muggsy Bogues at number 5.
Alright, he just doesn't have a fifth player.
Like
Be realistic,
No,
please.
he
Wilt?
isn't gonna get
Can
any
you,
votes.
can you
Wilt
please
or
be
Kareem?
realistic?
Wilt or Kareem, Max, pick one.
No, just pick one out of the top 10 or pick KD for all I care.
No, I'll put Shaq as number 5.
That's fair.
Alright, Hayden, what are we rocking with?
Muggsy's number 6.
Isaac, you wanna go first? I'm still thinking.
I have mine.
Alright,
Okay.
Isaac, go.
Number 1, I have LeBron, solely because of his athletic ability and, in my opinion, he's playing in a tougher league now.
I'm guessing you have MJ at number 2.
Yes, I do have MJ at 2. 3, I have Kobe.
Ooh.
4, I have Shaq, solely based off of his just dominant ability to play. No one could stop him. And 5, I have Tim Duncan, based off of production and consistency, loyalty over a large span of time. And that also goes with my argument for Kobe, why he's up there as well.
Isaac has the exact same list I was gonna go with at first, but then I changed it up. But Isaac, I would have changed your last person to Larry Bird.
Larry.
But yeah, that's what
I
I would
think-
put.
I think the
my
only
first
reason
one,
I
but
put-
changed it up by-
Yeah, the only reason I put Tim Duncan instead of Larry is because Larry kind of ended his career short, which kind of limited his total production of his career.
I mean, you could say the same thing about Magic, though.
That's why I don't have him
Yeah,
there.
Magic copped AIDS.
Yeah, that's why I don't have him there.
Too late.
Hey, all I'm saying, though, is
There's a
if
reason I
you're
have Kobe
playing
and Dunk there.
almost the same amount of seasons as MJ, a.k.a. Muggsy, like, you know,
There's
you're
a
pretty
reason I
much a
have
GOAT.
Kobe and Duncan there. It's because of loyalty production over like a large span of time, which not a lot of NBA players have been able to
Do
achieve.
you think LeBron has a better work ethic than Michael Jordan, though?
No, because I think
don't.
LeBron's a much more gifted athlete, and that helps him a lot.
You
Let's
think
see,
that?
we're not talking about.
Honestly, I think
No, I know. I'm
Kobe
just saying,
definitely
you
had
think
the.
that- you think
Kobe had the
best
hardest work
yeah.
ethic.
You
ever.
think
Either MJ or LeBron had the best. It was Kobe. He was in the gym literally 24/7.
It's Kobe.
Kobe has
Kobe
the
has
best
the
work
most.
ethic.
He has the
Is-
best work ethic
is-
ever.
MJ's three-peat team versus LeBron's best Heat team?
It has nothing to do with what other team. It's a player
Even though they're different
on player
eras,
basis.
Even though they're different eras, who do you think comes out on top?
What did you say?
The three-peat Bulls or the two-peat Heat?
Oh, 100% the 3 Bulls, bro.
Yeah.
But which era are you? Wait, but which era are you talking about?
The 80s.
If they played in the 80s,
Yeah.
Like if
no,
they
I'm
played
sorry,
a five, if they played a
now.
3v3,
if they play now,
Yeah. Because you got Steve Kerr, who's the three-point shooter on that team. You have MJ, you have Pippen.
okay, but you
Grant's
also have-
gone.
I think Ray Allen on the Heat cancels out Steve Kerr.
Okay,
Ray Allen's much
then
better.
those two equal out,
But
so
Ray
now you
Allen was
got-
at the end of his
Ray
career
Allen
at that point.
wins that. Don't equal him out.
No,
Those
Ray
are the two shooters.
Ray was at the end of his career at that point. When he was
Alright,
on the
but
Heat.
those are the two shooters on the team.
Right.
Mike Miller and Ray Allen are probably the top 3-point shooters on that team.
Alright, so let's take out Ray Allen and Kerr. Now you got MJ, or who's Pippen matching up against? Is it
LeBron.
LeBron? Alright, so Pippen and LeBron.
Wade and MJ are matching up.
Wait.
And then
is
Bosh
that,
and
when did Chris,
Rodman.
When was Chris Bosh on that team?
He was on the Heat.
On the 3-peat. He was the big 3 on that team. It was Wade, Bosh, and LeBron.
Alright. So
What's your
was
wait?
Max's
What's
fifth Muggsy or Shaq?
No, it was Shaq.
Okay.
All right, let's pause on this debate. We'll come back to the debate about the big 3s later. Hayden, tell us your top 5.
So I had MJ number 1, and then LeBron 2, and then Kobe 3, just because of his work ethic and amount he was able to accomplish and all that stuff. And then I had Kareem 4th, just because of his dominance. And then I had Larry 5th, just because of like his legend status. And if I could put a 6th on here, it'd be Magic, but obviously can't. So MJ, LeBron, Kobe, Kareem, and Larry.
Alright, I'm gonna put. I wrote them all down on here.
Wait, Miles, can I switch mine up a little, or
Oh, yeah, you can.
show mine real quick? Because I need to remember.
Like, you have MJ, LeBron, Kareem, Larry, and Magic.
Wait,
I didn't write
LeBron, MJ, Kareem. Alright, so take out Kareem and
No, that's the one with LeBron first is Isaac's.
Yeah.
I have LeBron first.
Mike and
No,
I are the
you
only
have
people
MJ
that have
first.
LeBron
No,
first.
he has LeBron first, too.
Mike and I are the only people that have
Yeah.
LeBron first.
So you want. Who do you want?
Let me see my list. We'll take Kareem out and put Shaq.
Out of
You want
Mike.
Shaq at 3?
Yeah.
Where's
The
Mike?
only reason I have MJ before LeBron is the Bulls couldn't, like, I don't know, I feel like the Bulls didn't function the same without LeBron, but if you saw LeBron off the Heat, I mean, D-Wade still won a title without LeBron. When
What do you guys think of?
title without MJ.
What do you guys think about this list? It came from Jaden Souza in the comments. LeBron, MJ, Kawhi, David Robinson, and Bill Russell.
You gotta knock Kawhi out of there, boy.
Kawhi's not.
Kawhi
hasn't
ain't
done
top
it.
10 even.
I mean, no, Kawhi has not done enough.
I mean, he
feel
did
like,
low-key carry a team like LeBron did, but, like,
Carried a team to win. this.
David Robinson.
Alright, listen. Alright, the Raptors were.
They were
with
not
Kawhi.
known,
With Kawhi, were 100% like more talented than the Cavs.
oh, I mean, okay, but you don't
adding
have
Kawhi. Alright, I know. No, say Kawhi. No, I mean, Kyrie wasn't there at the time, but
And they won the
then
title.
again, the Raptors played in an East with no LeBron. Like, yeah, Giannis was there.
No, I'm talking though, like when Kyrie. You said the title-winning Cavs, right?
Huh?
When you were talking about the Cavs, you're talking about the team that won the title, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was
So,
like Kyrie.
who was the point guard for the Raptors last year?
Lowry.
Lowry. Like,
So,
literally the
Boys, I
Cavs.
really need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
so look at Lowry versus Kyrie. Kyrie's a better playmaker in all stats.
Okay, but Lowry can. Yeah, all right, but maybe Kyrie drops a little bit more than what Kawhi or not Kawhi, well than Kyle can do. But if you base off the whole team, like yeah, LeBron and Kyrie only need a few assets like J.R. Smith and like Tristan Thompson. But the Raptors, they were deep. Like their bench was deep last year, and their starters were like nice.
Yeah.
They
Their backup
had
point, Fred Van Vliet.
Kyle.
Nasty.
They had Kyle, who was Fred starting with Kyle?
He might have been shooting guard. He might
Yeah, I
have.
think he was shooting guard. It was Kyle, Fred, Kawhi, Siakam,
Ibaka.
and Ibaka.
And then they also had
who was
Norman
a-
Powell on the bench, who was really consistent scorer.
Mike, what were you saying?
I was saying how
And
Siakam
Van
was
Vliet.
like a very good part of that championship.
No, yeah, 100%. He was most improved.
Much, yeah.
He was most improved player that year.
Siakam?
Yeah.
Yeah, when Hayden gets back, do you guys want to vote on the list?
Yeah, and then we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you guys have? I
Can we
mean,
go
we
back
can
to
probably.
LeBron? Can we go back to that?
Yeah, let's vote. Let's vote real quick and let's go back to LeBron.
Yeah, we're gonna
because we
vote
still
on
have
the
heads in
list.
here, so we can continue talking if we have some topics to talk.
All right, Miles. If you had to vote for one list, that's not
Alright, I
yours.
can't vote for mine,
It's not
obviously.
yours. Yeah. Yeah, written down.
So my top two favorite would have to be
Wait, so Miles had MJ, LeBron, Bill, Magic, Larry.
Yes.
Mike had LeBron, MJ, Kareem, Larry,
no Shaq. Switch Kareem with Shaq.
Yeah,
Switch
sure.
Kareem with Shaq. He switched it.
and then Max had MJ, LeBron, Bill, Magic, Shaq.
Yep.
I had MJ, LeBron, Kobe, Kareem, Larry, and Isaac had LeBron, MJ, Kobe, Shaq, Duncan.
Yeah.
Alright, boom. Miles, who you voting for?
Yeah, it's just
my top two would have to be.
You get one vote.
No, I know, but like I'm just like saying in general, I'm gonna choose obviously one. I like Isaacs a lot. It's just I don't know if I would put Tim Duncan at 5.
He's the greatest
Yeah,
power.
you had, like,
He's the
Larry
greatest
at
power
5.
forward of all time. Larry is not the greatest small forward of all time.
No,
Yeah, but are you making a lineup out of this,
No.
or you're just making a top 5 list?
I'm not.
Like just be but
Top
yeah,
5.
Tim Duncan's probably the best power forward of all time. But compare him to
Yeah, so
like
he was the greatest at his position to ever do it.
yeah, but there's better.
doesn't mean
there
that he's
could be
top
better
5.
people than him
Better
in
players
different
in general.
positions.
But
Fair.
I like your list though. Like I'm not gonna hate on your list. Like
Yeah.
that's
I'm just
very,
arguing my case.
that's a very
Well, you gotta look at their aspects of play too. Are you looking for like a deep defensive rebounding 2-point player, or are you looking for
I think
all around offensive player in Larry Bird?
Well, Larry Bird was not
if I
all around
vote for one,
offensive. Larry Bird
if I
got a
vote
lot
for
of
one,
rebounds and
I
played
can't
well
really vote for
defense.
Max because like we have the same list besides one player, so I think I'd obviously go for
Bro,
Max.
there's no Muggsy's at 6, so
All right, so Max is out of the question. All right. I think my favorite, low key. Nah, my favorite's probably Hayden's. I think my favorite's Hayden's.
I got one vote.
Good.
Mike, you're up.
My favorite's Hayden's.
I'm voting for Isaac because he pretty much had what I wanted to have until I switched it up. The only thing I would change about his is what I was saying with Larry Bird at 5, but like I totally agree with his list.
Do you think that they could be like interchangeable, or do you think Larry's definitely 5?
No, I think they could be
For who?
interchangeable, but I feel
My
like
list.
I wouldn't interchange Larry with Tim Duncan. I think Tim Duncan is a good 6th or 7th or 7th or 8th spot.
no,
Like,
I
I
think,
think Larry's better than Duncan, yeah.
I think
Honestly,
Duncan in the actual list is in a good spot. Like he's at 8.
and Duncan are not the same athletes.
Yeah.
Like they literally they might be the same position, but they play completely different roles
They
on the court.
specialize in different
And
parts of the
completely
game.
different NBA styles.
honestly,
Larry Bird would
talking about like small forward, I could have put KD there instead of Larry Bird because I don't know. I just feel like he's kind of getting better than.
like Larry Bird. It was playing point guard in a league that had him at small forward, and like he was just dominant. Like Tim Duncan was playing in a league where his role on this court was kind of like post hooks, rebounding, and defense.
No.
So like,
He had a
for
lot
the
more than
most
post
part,
hooks. He had
Yeah,
every
that's a
post move
normal
in the
big
game,
man.
mid shot, defense, rebounding. He was a decent passer for his size and position.
I compare Tim Duncan to Dirk more than anyone, but
What?
I think they had the same play style.
How?
Besides the fade, they didn't.
Yeah, besides the fade, obviously.
Name one
but,
time
like,
Name one time that Tim Duncan shot a 3-pointer.
Alright, but Dirk wasn't. Besides his 3-shot, I mean, they.
Besides the 3, besides the.
Dirk was known as a shooter
Or not.
for his
Yeah, a
position.
midi shooter, not for 3-pointers. He wasn't known for 3s. Like, he could shoot them.
Compared to everyone else in his position, he was
Tim
well
Duncan
above average.
Or middies, you could say. But then again, Dirk played power forward and center, so those are also different positions.
Alright, Max, what's your
Wait, Mike, who did you vote for?
Isaac?
I'm voting for Isaac.
So 2 votes Isaac, 1 vote Hayden. Hayden, who you voting for?
Well, I can't agree with a list that has LeBron as number 1. So that means Isaac and Mike are out, so that leaves Max and Miles. You guys both have Bill as number 3, which I also disagree with. But that sort of like cancels out. And then,
So it's
in my opinion, Max has Shaq as number 5. And I don't think Shaq's 5 just because of, like, he can't shoot at all.
But alright.
He was super, super dominant, but he didn't have a jump shot at all. So that takes him out of my top 5. So that means I'm taking Miles.
Wait, Miles, who was your 5th player?
Larry.
Larry.
Okay, honestly, I think Shaq would be like top 3, if not like top 2,
If he could shoot a
Shaq
midi.
had a mid range.
okay. I have a question. Do you
Mhm.
think Kareem had a midi?
He had a
He had a
hook.
post.
He had a hook, but
He
that's
didn't-
completely
he
different.
he didn't have a shot. I don't think he had a shot. He literally just had that consistent hook.
But
That-
Shaq
he
also
didn't
had
have
post
the
All
move,
I'm
though.
saying is, even though Shaq didn't have a midi, he still averaged the exact same amount of points as Larry.
Yeah,
Just
one other
saying.
thing to consider is the fact, like, a post hook from Kareem, that's considered a post move, and Shaq had plenty of post moves to score from as well.
Well, he also, like, you guys are talking about him not having a shot, but when you're averaging the same amount of points as a shooter, does it really matter?
Yeah.
Like, literally, Shaq averaged 23.7 and Larry Bird averaged 24.1. So, like, you know,
Mhm.
plus Shaq definitely carried more board.
I think shooting brings a lot to the table, though.
Like versatility
looking at the
as
center
an
to a
Oh
small
offensive
yeah,
player.
yeah. That's also it's very
How many
everything's just very
shooting centers there
debatable.
were when Shaq was playing?
There was like 0.
Wait, so
Exactly.
Hayden, who are you
It was a
voting
different
for?
era. There were no shooting centers when Larry played either, but then again, he's a small forward. But when you're averaging the same amount of points as a small forward, like, that's pretty dominant, in my opinion.
And I just think I could put way more people in front of Shaq. Like just
I agree. And that's why I picked Miles' list, because he doesn't have Shaq top
So
5.
Miles gets a
Well, we're
vote.
starting to lose you, so let's just.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up after this.
Um,
And
we're
it's
at
down to
8.
me.
We've been chilling at 8 to 10.
And it's down to me.
I
Isaac,
know, but it's been like an hour and like.
So Isaac, you won because you have 2 votes.
Yeah.
So you can either have the 3-way tie between me, Miles, and Max.
No, it would be 2-way.
In my,
Max hasn't voted. Max
I am
hasn't
not-
voted.
I'm
Vote
not
for- wait.
going to vote,
No,
so
didn't Max vote for Isaac?
Yeah.
For Isaac.
I have
Isaac
two.
has 2. I have 1. Hayden has 1.
Yeah.
My
So
vote,
if you vote for me or Miles, then there's a 2-way tie.
yeah. So just quick clarification, my vote is not cast as a way for me to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, obviously.
cast as a personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you guys have before Shaq on your list, realistically?
I'd have to
over
think-
Shaq?
I'll think
LeBron, MJ,
Well, obviously, besides, like,
Kareem.
top,
That's a
like,
center.
LeBron and MJ.
Honestly, I would change.
Kareem is a better center than Shaq.
I mean, he scored more points in his career. But I don't know. It's
I don't
tough.
think
I'd put Shaq at a. I'd put Shaq in front of Kareem. I'd put Shaq in my list 6 or 7. Shaq
is
could be
Shaq-
6 or 7 for me.
Shaq was revolutionary. Kareem just did the same thing every other big man did in his time. He was just
He
good.
scored the most points of all time.
Yeah, like he was
he-
good at it, but like then again, he stood there and went like this.
Yeah, but he was also the only person to ever make that an art and master it. No one else could do it as good as he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
But-
don't know.
but
Like,
that
Yeah,
doesn't
Shaq
doesn't
would be a 6 or
justify.
7 for me though.
I mean, just
100%.
looking at Shaq's like just resume, like 15-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, All Rookie, Rookie of the Year, MVP, 3-time All Defense, 14-time All NBA, 3-time
I mean,
MVP finalist.
In my opinion, I'd rather not look at specific achievements that they had in their time period. I just look at like skill set, because
Skill set, size.
an all-star can be easier to make than in one time period than another.
I don't know. I think 3-time MVP kind of seals the deal.
Isaac, you should make.
I'm voting for Mike's list because he's the only other person that has LeBron as number 1.
Yeah, that's
and-
fair.
I don't know. I mean, I know it's a very heavily debated thing, but I think LeBron is just.
Do you think Shaq is 3rd all time? You agree with that? Or
Well, I
just
agree
the
with my
fact
own
that
list.
Honestly,
number
if
1?
I'm looking at my list now, I would put LeBron, MJ, Kobe, Shaq, Magic.
Well,
as
I agree with
top
my
5.
own list. I don't think that Shaq belongs in number 3, but the first thing that I see looking at everyone's list is like everyone has MJ at 1,
Wait, who do you have at number 3, Isaac?
Kobe,
You have a center in that top 5 list?
Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq.
You have Shaq?
I have 2 big men, yeah. But
Who was your 5th? Or
Duncan.
your second big man?
Duncan.
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 But yeah, I just think the first thing you look at in a top 5 list is the debate between 1 and 2, and I think LeBron is 1, and it doesn't really matter who's 3, 4, 5, because
I feel like the LeBron MJ debate's so difficult because you there's so many aspects to it.
yeah,
Like you can look at talent, but you also gotta look at the people that they've Like, it's like an MVP caliber type question. Like, who's more valuable, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
And, like,
Yeah, so if you're gonna solve the who's the greatest of all time, if they played a 1v1, both of them in their primes, and the winner of that, like, that doesn't even necessarily, like, answer the
1v1
question
doesn't
of-
dictate. It's how well
Exactly,
you'd be able
yeah.
to succeed.
Exactly.
who achieved more not only for themselves, but for the people around them.
It was
Like, I think Michael Jordan was able to create
He
an
did
app
a lot more, yeah.
where
it's just
LeBron would never
my
been
opinion
able-
is how well were you able to succeed as a player in a competitive league, which is a 5-on-5.
Yeah, well, what makes you think LeBron succeeded more than MJ?
In terms of individual success and individual
Well,
production,
are you talking individual or 5v5 setting?
Yeah, you just said.
your
Is
ability,
success defined as personal statistics or team winning?
like how good you play.
All right, but just you could be the best player ever, but if you're on a team that 1-27, you're never gonna be in the GOAT.
Exactly. And the highest winning player of all time is Draymond Green. And that dude's a donkey. Like, he's not good.
The highest winning?
Like, highest winning percentage in NBA history is Draymond Green.
Okay, but you can also consider total wins. Who
Win
has that?
percentage.
MJ has over LeBron.
Total wins?
Yes.
Does he?
How many wins?
I think LeBron's probably got him.
I mean, you gotta think of all the seasons that.
Well,
the
also,
LeBron,
I don't know. I
everything
feel like
and-
the debate's gonna be much easier once LeBron retires, because I think
Mhm.
LeBron has a good like 3-4
Resume.
years maybe left in him. So depending
Yeah.
on how much production he can get in that years, I think that'll make the debate a lot easier. But in my opinion, I
If
think
LeBron can win another title, then
that'll be big for him in the debate. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's just the fact that he's a greater athlete.
Wait, what year is Bronny in high school?
he's a freshman going into a sophomore year.
Because I feel like he's gonna retire after he plays 1 year with his son.
Yeah, but LeBron, if LeBron stays in the league too long, he's gonna tarnish his reputation.
Yeah, it's like Tom
Mhm.
Brady going to the Bucks. He ain't gonna do too hot.
No, Brady's gonna be different on the Bucks, but that's besides the point.
Maybe.
So, Isaac, you vote for Mike?
Yes, Mike.
So Isaac got 2 votes, and then me, Miles, and Mike all got 1.
Yeah.
So that makes Isaac's list the winner.
Like Isaac,
With
also,
Tim Duncan in the top 5.
if you really want to look at personal stats,
We only had 2 lists that had Kobe in the top 5. I feel like that's an issue.
if you want to look at personal stats, LeBron's also played 258 more games than MJ and is still not averaging the same as he did, points wise.
Points wise,
Yes.
what about rebounds?
Rebounds, they're kind of the same, and assists, they're roughly the same. And he's 200 games more.
How much
like,
more did he?
Michael Jordan averaged 6.2 total rebounds.
I
LeBron-
also make the argument that it would be easier to average average good stats with less games played.
Yeah.
Because-
games played doesn't affect a stat that is per game.
If
you know
you
what I mean?
if you average 20 points over a span of 10 years compared to 15 years, averaging 20
it's
years
easier in 10 years. in my
exactly
opinion,
averaging 20 years for averaging 20 points for 15 years straight is a
Well,
much
then
more
just
difficult
cut
task.
Cut off 200 games from LeBron's career. Take 2 seasons away. I still don't think he's gonna average the same as MJ.
That's 162 games.
All right, so split 1 season in half. Like I still don't.
That's a
Just
lot of
take away
production
the last
possible.
2 seasons of games played and the last 2 seasons of points, and then do the math.
Yeah. I still don't believe
No
that.
one has that
Like
stat.
if you like LeBron, if you're looking at the GOAT, like the definition of greatest of all time,
Yeah.
you cannot just look at personal stats because that's literally a definition of MVP. Like, in order to be the GOAT, you need to not only like why is Tom Brady named the GOAT? It's not because he has 6 rings. It's because he's brought in teams that don't even belong in certain positions and brought in them to win. Like he isn't the reason that he has 6 rings. His team that he created around him is the reason he has 6 rings.
Okay, yeah. So
Without-
MJ
Without him
improves.
motivation, they wouldn't have had
MJ had Pippen most of his career.
MJ was not
MJ was not winning a title without Phil Jackson as his coach.
Yeah.
No chance.
But
And LeBron has never had a good coach
LeBron's not
necessarily.
winning 2 titles back to back without D Wade and Chris Bosh.
He also brought that
Alright, but
Cavs team with nobody.
Do you see the Lakers team now?
Yeah, stacked.
He has.
Stacked.
They're stacked.
Even the Cavs, some of the Cavs teams were stacked. There was one year when they didn't have shit, and I think they lost in the finals.
Okay, yeah, that was against the Magic, and he had nothing. Also, the year that they beat the Warriors, Kyrie and Kevin Love were both injured.
Yeah.
Kyrie played though.
But he was injured for some of the games
I know, but he
that
still
they lost
balled out.
in.
Yeah, if you're putting a team like Pippen, if you have Pippen, so Pippen was his number 2, right?
Okay, who's a better number 2? Pippen, Kyrie, or D Wade?
Probably D Wade, if I'm being honest with you.
What?
Because you had D Wade and Chris Bosh. He just had Pippen.
Okay, Bosh can be compared with
Yeah,
D-Rod.
Rodman, though. Rodman's fucking...
Rodman wasn't there for the first three-peat though.
But they had who else? Who did they have?
They didn't have anybody for the first three-peat. It was him and Pippen. That's it.
Pippen's nice.
And they were playing against a Detroit Pistons team.
What makes you
that
think that D
absolutely
Wade's a better?
was-
What makes you think D Wade's a better second option than Pippen?
I think at the time in the league they were playing in, he was probably more versatile. He was a playmaker. Pippen was a off-ball, like if even in the
Pippen was one of the nicest defenders.
They literally call Pippen an off-ball player that creates
Okay,
shots for other
yeah,
people.
D Wade is a better offensive player, but I think in terms of overall impact on a team, Pippen has him on rebounding, defense,
Yeah, but
steals.
D Wade was able to
slashing.
bring the team to the finals. Pippen would have never been able to do that.
In what?
Bring a team to a finals.
Okay, he also had Shaq.
But
He also
after
had Shaq.
No, like you could
if
put
his coach,
he
he
could
could
have
have.
left, and they still had a good team with Kerr and everyone else because that's when MJ left. Kerr and all those guys were still on that team.
Yeah, but they also had a new head
Eastern
coach.
Conference final.
When MJ or no, well, MJ still on the team when Phil Jackson left?
No. He
What
left when
age?
Phil Jackson left.
Here's my question: What
That's why it's
age?
called The Last Dance.
What age
They
was
didn't have
MJ?
any- they
What
all
age
left.
was
They were
MJ when he
not
went on the Wizards?
What?
How old was MJ when he was on the Wizards?
40s, I think. He was
40?
old. When he was on the Wizards, it was 03. He was 39.
39. Yeah,
He
It's
was on
just
the
so
Wizards.
tough.
How old LeBron is right now, right?
No.
LeBron's like
35.
34, 35.
34.
35.
Yeah, we got some years to wait for LeBron.
Alright, we'll put it this way. MJ in 2001 was playing 60 games. Hold on, let me look at this. He played 60 games, right?
Yeah.
He had... Where's points per game here? Field goal, here it is. He averaged 10 points on 22... No, that's not minutes. Field goal. He shot 41%, averaging 10 points
Hmm.
at 38 years old, playing 60 games. And then the year after that, he played 82 games.
Yeah, we're
He
just
played
gonna
the
have.
whole
I mean,
season.
I can't make an argument against that until we see the production LeBron has at that age. You know what I mean? Like, there's no disputing
Why
the
do you
fact that
pick
that
LeBron number 1?
Yeah, as of right now, who's the greatest of all time?
LeBron.
If you're not aware of LeBron's
LeBron.
skill yet. But why? I guess.
Because of the fact of what he's done so far in his career. Because if he doesn't have the same production level for the next 4 years, then yes, MJ will be better. But if he has the
He
same,
didn't have the production level last year or the year before that. Actually, the year before that he did, but not last year, and he was hurt last year.
yeah, exactly. So he's hurt.
MJ, the only time MJ missed is when he quit and he retired.
Okay, but you can't really have enough. You
And
can't.
even then, he
determine
came
an
back,
injury.
He came back after changing his entire body to go play baseball.
Yeah.
Still brought the team to the Eastern Conference Finals.
It's like, when you put a fucking big ass, like, when you get an ass for baseball,
He did not touch a ball for 6 months.
mhm.
And then
you
just
get,
came
you
back
get a
and
big
buried
butt
the
for
team.
baseball, it's hard to go back
And
to.
then brought them into 7 games.
Yeah.
7 games. He wasn't even in shape, like baseball body to basketball body.
Tough.
I think it's a good argument. But in my opinion, I think that from what he's done so
And not
far,
only that, Isaac, But from 98 to 01, he retired, and then he still came back and played 60 games, averaged 10 points, and shot 41%. He retired for 3 years.
I think with what LeBron's done, the previous stat that you brought up, like he's played 258 more games, and he has had less production, I feel like that's a harder thing for LeBron to do. I think it's a harder league that he's played in his time in the league.
It's as difficult. I think it's the same because you're looking at a league that defense is not priority anymore. Defense back then was what made and won games. Defense nowadays, like people are balling out, putting up 120 points.
Yeah, because people have evolved in terms of their scoring techniques and the way that they play the game.
If you see a guy get a rebound, like if someone misses a shot, how many times do you generally see that the offensive player really going after the ball? It's almost always just a given that the other team gets it. Like there's no attack like there used to be.
Rebounds.
There's
plenty of rigorous rebounders in the league.
What?
There's plenty of rigorous rebounders in the league.
Yeah, but they're not all on every. Like you're telling me that there's teams out there that every night their big man goes out there and every time someone misses a shot, they're going up for it. No.
Name a player that did that back in the 90s or the 80s.
Defense is not priority anymore. Defense was what won games.
I don't know.
Like if you didn't have defense back then, you weren't winning, and that's why Dennis Rodman was such a big deal, and that's why
but there's
Scottie
still
Pippen
plenty
being
of
an
good defenders in the
eight-time
league.
all-defense
Sure.
player was such a big
Okay,
deal.
there might have been. I don't even know if there was a more prominent defenders than there was in this NBA, because there's plenty of dedicated players that base their game off of their defense.
Yeah, but they don't even match to what they're like the numbers there were back then. Like not even defensive.
Because it was much easier to play defense back then because the offensive play of everybody was
how many
diluted.
kids actually use the defensive? How many kids? How many people actually have like attack on the defensive side?
Attack?
Yeah, like who's actually there and ready to stop you?
Patrick Beverly.
All right, so you can name how many people?
Who do you name from the 80s?
Like, I would have to obviously look them up, but because it's the 80s. But like, the thing here, like,
Pistons.
Like, look at the Pistons from the 80s. There's not one team that can.
Dennis Rodman.
Name a player on the Pistons besides Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. Their big man has a giant last name. Hold on.
You think Isaiah Thomas was as good of a defender as Patrick Beverly?
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
And then they had a young Dennis Rodman that averaged like 6 steals a game.
Okay, well, there's plenty of other people that can be compared to Dennis Rodman. Like, take Kawhi, for example. Paul George is also
averages 3 blocks a game.
Paul George is also a good example of another forward that is also defensive oriented, or you could also consider him a two-way.
All right, boys, let's start wrapping
Kawhi Leonard
in an hour and a half.
Kawhi Leonard, I think, is the Dennis Rodman of our age.
I'm about to just leave them in.
We gotta wrap this up in an orderly fashion.
I think we are just gonna, I think we'll end it. I'm gonna agree to disagree. You can have MJ as your number 1, but in my books, he's number 2.
That's
but
fine.
You're entitled to your own
opinion.
opinion.
Good point, but I just think MJ's mentality is like so much
I
better
think
than LeBron.
MJ's work ethic.
I don't think LeBron makes everyone around him better like MJ did.
Okay.
That's like my only thing.
Well, let's see what happens with the next couple years, because LeBron has not retired yet.
Exactly.
And in my opinion, he's making AD a lot better. He's making AD. I feel like
Compare the numbers. Compare the numbers of AD's production on the Lakers compared to the Pelicans.
I think MJ's 1, but LeBron isn't 2. LeBron is 1A.
1A. I like it.
Like my thing is like
1A.
He's 1A.
During practices and stuff, like how he actually got on people's back for not doing well. Like you never.
Yeah, and punching Steve Kerr in the face.
Yeah,
like see LeBron doing that.
Yeah, I think MJ definitely has a better like.
Christian says Jordan better offensively, defensively, and more clutch.
LeBron's pretty clutch.
I don't know, man.
But MJ just like has like the I'm gonna go whoop your ass and make you a fool mentality where LeBron is like sort of more of a nice guy. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't
Well, how
consider him
many
a nice
times- how many
guy, but he's
times-
definitely not on the killer attitude of MJ. I think MJ definitely has a better work ethic and more of a killer attitude, but
I
LeBron
wouldn't
is
even say
no.
work ethic. I would just say
LeBron is not a
Let me
pushover.
ask you one more
You're
thing,
making him out to be a
Who's, like,
pushover.
In their
Alright,
career,
so last part.
in their career so far, who has succeeded more?
Oh, they're still great.
Who
Because they're,
succeeded more?
because they're pretty much the same age right now. MJ retired for 3 years when he was 34 or 35. So at that point in his career, when his career was pretty much over, he retired in 1998, 34 years old. That was it for him before he came back to the Wizards in 01.
If
Who
LeBron
right
is
now at the same exact age, who succeeded more? Right now, forget about the next 5 years because they're at the same age right now.
Okay, but different players.
that has a
different-
I don't know, that's a loaded ass question because so many different players can have effects on that, and different teams in the NBA, their level of play, like
players in our generation are 10 times better than.
I don't know. I think we can wrap it up here. Max,
Yeah,
you're
wrap it up
entitled.
there.
Max, you're entitled to your own opinion. My opinion's Jordan, or my opinion is LeBron. Yours
No,
is
I'm not
Jordan.
saying your opinion's wrong. I'm just like, I want to know what you're asking.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we end.
No more.
We'll
All
talk
right.
about when we're done. Alright.
But yeah, thanks everybody for popping out to the stream. We actually had a very consistent, good amount of viewers this time. Much longer stream than usual, so sorry about that if that affected anybody's time management. But appreciate everybody coming in and checking us out, listening to us have this discussion.
If you guys can just help us, like, share, like, our channel and stuff to help it get out more for more viewers to come in, I'd really appreciate it.
Yep.
Road to 50 subs.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
If you haven't already, there's a lot of people that haven't subscribed that watch, so just subscribe, like the video.
Yep.
If you like it, just push it out to more people.
Yep.
Well, hopefully, but obviously with low likes, it might not. But like, no.
Yeah. Quick
Last
to go
one.
Any
over.
little thing helps.
Quick to go over our schedule for the rest of the week. We got a stream going on Friday. Should be about 10 p.m. And then on the weekend, we're going to be posting a highlight video of the past 3 streams this week. So quick funny moments that you guys can watch, have a quick laugh with. But yeah, that's about it.
Thank you, Christian, for the subscription.
I saw that. Yes,
Sure.
sir. But yeah,
How many subs are we at? 37?
38.
38?
yeah. We appreciate all your guys' support. Thanks, and we're gonna end it here.
Later.
Peace out.
Yeah, boy.